Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shibboleth Gaming playing NASCAR Heat 4, and today we are taking my number 80 Toyota Camry to Richmond Raceway. That's right, it's short track time. Even in real life, Richmond Raceway is known for chewing up race cars and race car drivers. However, short track racing has roots in NASCAR. It has history. But short tracks like Richmond Raceway are not easy. It takes a cool head and a race car with a good setup. But before we get to setups, let's take a look at my preferred settings. Once again, I'm using expert difficulty, which means no assist whatsoever. It also means I can customize my own qualifying and race trim setups. I'm using 90% sensitivity and increase my steering rate by approximately 10% more than my Daytona settings. It gives me just a little more steering response coming out of turns 2 and 4. Now that we've covered settings, let's talk about setups. My qualifying trim is just a bit more aggressive than my race trim. I have my front and rear bumps matching at 4547. I kept the left weight at default, but changed my front weight to 495. My wedge is set at 494. I tried to match both ride heights at 4 even, but the car was too unstable. My rear springs are at 360 and 430 pounds. My tires are at 11.25 for both lefts, 35.5 for my right front, and 35 even for my right rear. I did use a higher front sway bar adjustment at 1.775 for qualifying, just to help with entry into turns 1 and 3. I added grill tape for qualifying and changed the rear end ratio from 444 to 422. My race trim isn't much different. I added wedge to tighten me up on longer runs. I brought my rear springs down by 20 pounds on the left and 10 pounds on the right. I made a slight tire pressure adjustment and brought my front track bar down to 1.675. I took off some grill tape to keep temps down and left the gear settings alone. If I could hit some of the fast times from practice, like the 2.1414 or even the 2.1219 during qualifying, it would put us in pretty good shape. If I had to guess, we'd start the race about mid-pack. With a 21.433 qualifying time, we would be starting the race a little better than I expected. Our spot on the grid would be 16th. It's a race day at Richmond. Kevin Harvick is your pole winner. Matt Tifft had to change an engine after qualifying. And Cody Ware crashed in practice. It's time to pull those belts tight. We're going green. As long as I hit my marks, the car on entry feels good. I had a battle with the number 12 and the number 10 for a couple of laps. I got stuck in the outside lane, and that is not where my car wanted to be. Man, did that feel like a short first segment. We stayed clean and finished the stage 2 spots ahead of where we started. Between stages 1 and 2, I was hoping to get 4 new tires, but I kept an eye on what the leaders were doing, and since they weren't pitting, neither was I. I know I had only gained 2 spots, but I didn't want to lose 26 of them. On lap 5 of stage 2, my hopes of finishing a clean race at Richmond flashed before my eyes, when I must have just tapped the numbers 13 right quarter panel and got him loose enough to spin in front of me, bringing out the caution. Once again, I was hoping the leaders were going to pit, but there was no chance of that. For the rest of Stage 2, we kept our nose clean and ended up finishing in 15th place. With Stages 1 and 2 in the books, it set us up for a Stage 3 shootout at Richmond Raceway. My favorite, short track shootouts at its best. This had been the best I had run all day. As much as the handling was gone in the car, I was knocking on the door of a top 10 finish. At lap 45, the number 41 who looked to come around on his own slid up the track sideways in front of me, bringing out a late race caution. This set us up for a green-white checker. My tires are worn, my car is loose, but I am trying desperately to hold on to this top 10 finish. We had a clean restart, and I may have nudged the number 1 just a little bit, but we did bring home a 9th place finish at Richmond Raceway. This has been a short track shootout on NASCAR Heat 4 with Shibboleth Gaming. I can't believe we got ourselves a top 10 finish. I know anything but a win doesn't seem fit for celebration, but remember, that 9th place finish comes on expert difficulty and 0 driving assists, but man was that fun. As always, thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun racing and making this video, and I hope you were able to take something away from it as well. If you did enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button to turn on notifications. Until next time, stay safe and take care of one another.